I'm David Berlin, coming to you from CES 2012 in Las Vegas, Nevada. And around the show, we have lots of consumer technologies, but there's a big trend going on these days called the consumerization of IT. And what we see a lot happening out there is that these consumer technologies that originally targeted consumers are finding their way into the business space and into enterprises. And here to talk with me a little bit about that trend and to show me some technology that's going to creep into the business space and the enterprise space are Brad Hintze. He is Chief Marketing Officer for Moki Mobility, and also Melissa Garland, the Vice President of Marketing with Content Watch. Content Watch is a company that you are probably all familiar with. They make a product called Net Nanny. So I'll start with you, Melissa. You guys are doing a partnership with Moki, so why don't you describe the partnership, and then we'll talk a little bit about the technology and go into a demo.
Sure. The brief background of that is that Content Watch, through Net Nanny, with its Net Nanny product, has always been in the business of protecting customers, in this case protecting them from dangers on the internet for families. And we then took our product, which was a filtering solution, to businesses and provided protection and security solutions for businesses there. And as the world has grown in the space of mobile devices, iPads and phones and so forth, we're discovering that that's the place where companies need management help now. They need tools that will help them manage the content, the applications on a device, just the management of the data plans and so forth on a device. So we knew that the mobile device management space was a place we wanted to be, and so we've been working now with Moki Mobility on creating what's called an MDM solution to enable mid-sized, small, medium, large-sized companies to do just this in this new space of mobile device management.
Okay, and so this is really traditional creeping of consumer technology, and you guys say you're already using some of your technology to help businesses manage from a content perspective, right? And one of the things that's really interesting is that once you're on the mobile device and you're not on the corporate network anymore, I'm guessing that the challenges kind of increase there.
Right, that's exactly right. Yeah, and I think there are a number of players who are very concerned about what's happening on the devices. It starts with the IT manager. So these days, you've got the IT manager who's, right after Christmas, perfect time. Everybody walks in with their tablets and their phones and goes into the IT guy and says, "Okay, can you put those all on the network for me?" And it's like, well, okay, would you like me to do the mission critical stuff, or would you like me to fix the CEO's iPad, right? So there's a lot of extra demand on IT managers' time. And that sort of rolls up because you're just talking about cost and that they'd never budgeted for,
right.
So things that are also happening at a level with all of your senior management team, maybe you're paying for their data plans, right? And they're traveling around the world, and they go to outer Slobovia, and they end up with a $3,000 data plan because they didn't know to shut off the roaming, right? So the ability to manage all of these devices that are accessing your network is an ever-increasing demand.
Yeah, and also getting increasingly more challenging given the versatility of and diversity of the entire environment that you're trying to manage. So Brad, you've got a demo, and I just want to make sure we understand. Your Content Watch is going to license the Moki technology and private label it. So what, Brad, you're going to show off is not going to be available under the Moki brand. It's going to be available under the Content Watch brand. Is that
That's
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So we've got a Mac OS X laptop here. It looks like a MacBook, and we also have an iPad. Why don't you tee it up for us?
So the important thing about Moki Mobility and the Content Watch MDM is that it's all entirely in the cloud. So the other thing that IT managers are always worried about is, do I need to manage yet another server, another install? With with Content Watch MDM, that's not necessary because it's all in the cloud. You just use it in your browser, Mac or Windows PC, or even on the iPads, on the devices directly. And so registering a device, I want to walk you through some of the steps just to show how easy it is. All they have to do is send an email invite to the employee that owns the device. And you just click on invite here. And you can also do it in a bulk way too. If you want to just upload a CSV with 100 employee names or something like that. You're just rolling it out. It'll send invites to all of them, and then they'll get it for their device.
How about Active Directory integration? Do you offer that sort of thing so I can get it all from the Active Directory?
Right, we don't have that yet, but that's something that you could see in the future for sure.
Yep. All right.
And so when they receive the email, all they do is they simply tap the button that comes in, and then that will take them to a website that will download what's called on the iOS a profile, which is a security profile, and the user has to explicitly allow that to happen, to install. So you click on Register iOS Device. That takes them to this website, and all they do is they click on Download the profile. And so that's very well designed. You know, it's a couple of taps, and they're done. That's it. And once that happens...
Is that installing an app locally on the device?
It's not actually an application, it's a profile. So they don't see that in their normal app list, but if they go under General Settings, they can go under the profiles and see that.
I see.
So
okay.
If you click on Install Profile, then that will download those settings. And what that's doing is that's giving the Content Watch MDM permission to push settings and read settings from the device.
Right.
And it's all happening with Apple's OK too, right? And so that's how. So we click on Install, and then it's done. So you can see the Moki profile. It tells you, the user, what this MDM profile could do. And so we click on Done, and then we're done. That's it. The device is now registered on the Content Watch MDM. And so if we come back here and hit refresh, then we will see the device show up in the list here, right here. So Tom's iPad. And so on here, the IT manager then can inspect all of the statistics or the vitals about that particular device, how much space it has on the device. You can also see the application inventory. So you can see the list of applications that that user already has on their machine. And then you can also push down managed apps. And managed applications are applications that are registered with that particular profile. And when you have a managed application, I'll get into that a little bit further, but you have greater control over the data that is saved with that application. And then you can also restrict whether or not that's backed up to iCloud or to iTunes. Because another thing that the IT manager has to worry about is not just applications and connecting to the network, but also corporate data. And so with managed applications, you have a lot more control over the data. And
so you can push an application. This bypasses the App Store when you're pushing an application to an iOS device?
Well, there's two different kinds of applications. I'll jump over to managed applications. There's a corporate developed application. So this would be private to your corporation. And with that, you also need to install a profile in order for a user to use that application. So using Content Watch MDM, you can push those applications down. So they're private. They're never seen on the App Store. But you can also push down public applications from the App Store. So if I want to, actually I'll do that right now with Adobe Reader. I'll push Adobe Reader app down to this iPad right here. And so that will send a command down to the iPad. Now what will happen is an alert will pop up saying that Content Watch MDM is recommending an app for you. Do you want to install it? It'll take a moment because it's got to register back, right?
Network latency.
Network latency. It always kills demos, right? So here it
go.
is right here. The app installation. Do you want to install it or not? Now you do, at this point, you still need to have an Apple ID with the iTunes.
Well, but everybody who has an iPad has one of those. So
exactly. So that's not a problem at all.
Yep.
But then that puts it into this category of a managed application.
For sure.
And that's where it's really important for IT to be able to manage these applications, to restrict the backup, and then also when the MDM profile is removed from the device, that application is also removed from the device as well.
I see. And so we don't have a lot of time to do a completely full-blown demo, but I'm sure there are other features. So for example, in the true spirit of what Content Watch has done, you can probably limit what the browsers can, what sites the browsers can access.
Yes, the filtering component of what we offer will ultimately be connected as part of a full MDM solution. Currently it doesn't do that, but we have a separate product which we will bundle with this that we currently call Content Watch Pro. And so you bundle those together, you can do the filtering over here and the application management over here. And then eventually we'll have a single dashboard through which they could manage all of those settings.
So we're in January of 2012 now. When is that functionality going to be available?
I don't have the exact dates on that, but that's part of our roadmap for this year.
But the point is they can invest in this solution knowing that it's going to evolve from here and get better as time goes by.
And there's so much that you can do with this solution right now.
Okay. We're managing an iPad,
Yes,
iOS-based device. I'm assuming you can manage other iOS-based devices?
Yeah, iPhone, iPod Touch, all of those are here today, and Android is right around the corner.
Android around the corner? Anything else? BlackBerry? I mean,
That'll come with time.
Yeah. You got some work to do. But you got
We
the
do.
top two, iOS and Android.
Right, exactly. 65% of employees have iOS devices. And so we're cutting out the majority of the market, and the Android on top of that will take out most of them.
One of the things that's particularly exciting about this solution is that when we do have Android out, it'll allow you to manage both Android and iOS devices from the same platform. No one else is doing that right now. So again, what does an IT manager want? Ease of use.
There are a few companies that are in that space. I think that's the big one. Is they start from one place and they're going to gravitate towards the other, so they get it both covered, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, Brad Hintze, Chief Marketing Officer for Moki Mobility, Melissa Garland, the Vice President of Marketing for Content Watch. Thanks very much for joining us here.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, and from CES 2012 in Las Vegas, I'm David Berland.